Hello and welcome to week 2 of the UNPL Spring Fling. This week I'm going up against Peanutella, the coach of... Yikes, I forgot the coach's team name, unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. Let me look it real quick. Coach of the... Scuffed intro, I'm sorry. Coach of the Hawaii Haxorus. And this week... We're coming off of our week 1 win, very nice. Looking to keep that momentum going into week 2. Look at my points team. There's some threats and some pretty good defensive points. So, first of all, huge Pokemon into my team is the Cryogonal with Freeze Dry. Hits every single one of my team super effectively, except for the Hisui, Typhlosion, and Tuggiton, which can be Terra Ground to hit both of them. So I do expect either Terra Ground or maybe just Terra Fire for the Tuggiton. I think that is what the Cryogonal is going to be. And Freeze Dry, I guess Ice Beam as well, are both super spammable with my team. So that's something I'm definitely looking out for. Other than that, Gardevoir, big threat, hits my team pretty well with Psychic and Fairy moves. Toxapex is very annoying for me to deal with. I don't have too much to deal with Toxapex, however I do have some strong breakers, which probably deals with them. Uxie isn't too much of a threat. I think Uxie's pretty passive. Chinchino is a threat as well. Like, tidy up Chinchino if it gets going. I don't have a great physical resist. And Blastoise is at the most. Blastoise and Mandibuzz are the two best. Mandibuzz gets hit by Rock Blast, and Blastoise gets hit by Bullet Seed. So, Chinchino is kind of a menace. Low kicks as well, having priority into my team is pretty nice since I have some setup mons with like Haxorus and Alligator. So I think low kicks is pretty good as well. Duraludon is also, I think, a pretty good mon into my team. Evilate Duraludon is very bulky and resists a lot of my team's moves. Altaria, I don't want the Altaria. Alt might come for Defog if Cryogonal is very offensive, but I don't think Alt will come. Typhlosion isn't terrible into my team. Maybe like a... I don't know, maybe Scarf Eruption set. I do have a lot of resist, so probably not. I don't know how good Typhlosion is with just regular fire moves. Yeah, and Toad Scroll maybe comes, probably comes just for hazards and Spore. That's mainly what it does. Yeah, going to my team, we have a Haxorus starting off with the Lumberry, Dragonance, Earthquake, Outraged, and Ironhead. This is a very good breaker into this game. Get one Dragonance up, I can outspeed my opponent's entire team. Earthquake, Outrage, and Ironhead hits my opponent's team very hard. However, if I get 2 Dragonances off, then I basically just win the game. However, with one Dragonance, there are some instances where I don't, but if a lot of mons are chipped, then a Dragonance can just clean the game. Or I can do it early and break open for the rest of my team. Next is another Dragonance. Dragonance for Alligator, obviously with the Life Orb, Sheer Force, Liquidation, Ice Punch, Earthquake. With the coverage moves, and with Liquidation, hits my opponent's team for either super effective or neutral damage. Liquidation is very super spammable to my opponent's team this week, so that's probably the main move on click. Ice Punch for like, let's see, for like the Altaria, mainly. Next is Tinkaton. We're bringing Light Clay this week with Light Screen, Reflect, Stealth Rocks, and Gigaton Hammer. These screens are going to be very useful for my Haxorus and for Alligator, and for my next mod, which I'll talk about in a sec. Stealth Rocks, because they're rocks, and Gigaton Hammer as my one attacking move. Next is my Sceptile, which is an interesting set this week. Weakness Policy, Unburden, Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Drain Punch, and Protect. So with this moveset, behind screens, Terra Flying this week, by the way. I'm Terra Flying Sceptile. Just to boost acrobatics. Behind screens, I can live certain hits that are super effective, get the weakness policy boost, maybe Swords Dance as well, and get that Unburden proc. So I could possibly be +4 with the double speed of Unburden, which is over 540 speed there, which kind of obliterates my opponent's team, right? If that does happen. And I have Drain Punch for Duraludon. Acrobatics hits my opponent's entire team, and Drain Punch is just for Duraludon. Could be lying, but yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that is what Drain Punch is for. And Protect is for first impression. Just so I can protect against the first impression, so I don't take it too much damage, because low kicks is good into Sceptile if I do get that Burden proc off. And next is Hisuian Typhlosion. Pretty simple set this week. We have choice specs with Frisk, Eruption, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, and Will-O-Wisp. Eruption's very good into my opponent's team. I can just click Eruption on a slower mod and either kill it or do a ton of damage to an incoming switch. And then Shadow Ball and Flamethrower just for the stab options once I get weakened, so when the Eruption power decreases. Last but not least is Terra Sneasel. I'm bringing both my Terra captains this week. Sneasel Terra Ground with Life Orb, Pickpocket, Triple Axle, Knockoff, Terra Blast, and Ice Shard. We are max speed, max attack, but adamant. I chose not to outspeed my opponent's Hisuian Sneasel, Cryogonal, and Chinchino because I don't think I need to. I think the rest of my mons can deal with those pretty well, and I think having an adamant nature helps a lot with breaking slower mons, such as Toxapex and Duraludon, stuff like that. Being adamant with Life Orb helps a lot with that. Terra Ground, specifically for the things such as the Duraludon and the Toxapex. That's what Terra Ground is mainly for. Yeah, that is my team for week 2 of the UNPL Spring Fling. Yeah, battle will be soon. Alright, so I've had to do this game post-com because right before I was about to play my game, I had to actually go somewhere. I kind of want to win. So I did play it on my phone, so I couldn't record it, but I'm just going to post-com it. I did play this game a bit ago. I think I do remember mostly what happened. What was happening. Just, I think my memory should be good about what happened in this game. Yeah. So this is my match with Peanutella. Yeah, I guess just going in the first turn. I lead off with Tinkaton, and my opponent leads off with Low Kicks. Kind of forgot the name there for a second. So it's a good matchup for me, right? I match up typing wise, at least. I match up very well into my opponent. As I said, as I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna set up my screens here. This is my plan. As my opponent taunts, which prevents my light screen, but that's fine. I just hit it with a Gigaton Hammer, do a ton of damage. As my opponent knocks off, gets rid of my light clay, a little annoying, but that's fine. Here I switch out of my Sceptile on like another taunt or bug move or something, and I pivot back, and my opponent switches into Typhlosion. So I go into my own Typhlosion for the defensively. My opponent Fire Blasts into my Typhlosion, which isn't too bad. I do take a lot though. 30 is a lot. I did Frisk. It's Power Herb, so that does show that he's Solar Beam. So Solar Beam for Alligator, I'm guessing. So yeah, I need to keep that in mind. And here, I just decide to Shadow Ball because he has no Shadow Ball resist, so except for the low kicks, but I can just hit it with a Flamethrower afterwards, and it takes a lot. So out comes the Cryogonal. The Cryogonal, if we look, is Terra Water. So this does beat my Typhlosion here, so I am going to switch out on Spit F drop. So I could have gone for another Shadow Ball. I don't know if it would have killed from here. I don't think so. So I do go into Tinkaton, safe switch, just resist all the moves. And this Terraless Water doesn't do too much because Tinkaton is good special defense. And here I just opt to get up my Reflect, which I misclicked Reflect. I meant to click Light Screen. So yeah, I just completely misclicked Reflect instead of Light Screen. That was just a misclick. As my opponent misses Fire Blast, and I set up my Light Screen. So it's kind of leveled out in the end. I misclicked Fire Blast, I misclicked Reflect, and they missed Fire Blast. So the same exact thing happens. I just am one less turn of Reflect, which I'm fine with. So I live the next Fire Blast because of Light Screen and get my rocks up. So this Tinkaton is putting up some very nice value, as my opponent does pick me off with Fire Blast, which is fine. I come in with my DD Haxorus as my opponent Will-O-Wisps, but I have the Lumberry and I Dragonette's up. So that's exactly what the Lumberry is for the Will-O-Wisp Typhlosion. Yeah, it just comes in. I set up the Dragonette's for free, and click Earthquake on the incoming Uxie, which with my Bull Breaker I kill. And as you can see, this next turn, Dazzling Gleam does about 45, so I'm chilling with my health. Earthquake again. Take out the Uxie. My Haxorus is looking very good. I assume this had maybe the low kicks maybe had a first impression Sucker Punch, at least one of the two, but my opponent didn't go for either of them, which was kind of surprising for me. Maybe they're expecting for me to read that and go for a Dragon Dance, maybe. I don't know, but I just take it out with an Iron Head. So that's 2 mons gone for Haxorus. Next comes in the Toad Scroll, which lives my Iron Head. So I just opt to go for an Outrage, which might seem bad because there's a Gardevoir, but I really just wanted to get rid of the Toad Scroll because it was kind of annoying for my team. So I opted to just get rid of the Toad Scroll, not deal with Spore either. So the Gardevoir can come in and just revenge me with Fairy Move. So yeah, Gardevoir does come in, traces my Bull Breaker, which shouldn't do anything. I do Outrage into it, do nothing, and my opponent teleports, which is interesting. I don't know why they did that, but they did teleport into Cryogonal, which I do just click Earthquake on because of my Bull Breaker. It does KO. They switch in the Gardevoir again. However, hitting a Fairy type puts me out of Outrage and doesn't confuse me. So I don't know if my opponent thought that Outrage didn't lock me in. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why my opponent teleported with the Gardevoir. That's a very interesting play. But yeah, anyways, we pick off the Gardevoir. Next comes the Cryogonal. I outspeed this, kill this with Earthquake, and the Typhlosion's gonna come in next. I take rocks, gonna die to the Earthquake, and Haxorus gets the 6-0 sweep. Dragonette's Haxorus, man, this Pokemon is so good in low tier. It is so strong. Its coverage is very nice as well. So that is our 5-0 win versus Peanutella for Week 2 of the UNPL. Yeah, thanks for watching, and the Week 3 will be soon.